go.
Hey kids, and welcome back to Hometown Kids Online. This is episode 7. I hope you're ready for a great lesson as we continue looking at the life of the prophet Elijah and his up and down roller coaster life. We're going to have a great time tonight, and I would just ask you, either before you watch this, during watching it, or after you watch this, would you please share this with people on your social media so your friends can watch too? All right, are you ready? It's on with the show! Hey everybody, welcome back to the roller coaster life. Today, I'm going to be riding one of the biggest and newest roller coasters in the country. It's called the Outlaw Run. The Outlaw Run features the world's first and only double barrel roll on a wooden roller coaster with a 720-degree double barrel roll. In addition to that, the Outlaw Run is the only wood roller coaster to twist upside down 3 times. It's the world's steepest wooden roller coaster with a drop of 162 feet. That's more than 16 stories. The Outlaw Run is the second fastest wooden roller coaster in the world, and it reaches a top speed of 68 miles per hour. Oh Lord, give me strength. Speaking of God giving strength, Elijah needed some major strength from God in the Bible story we're going to learn about today. Right after he defeated the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel, Elijah ran for almost 20 miles without stopping. Can you imagine that? He must have been pooped. As if that weren't enough, then Elijah is threatened to be killed by Queen Jezebel. Elijah falls down and collapses underneath a tree. But then something incredible happens. God sends an angel to feed Elijah and give him strength. Isn't that incredible? You know, sometimes life just wears us out. This roller coaster of life with its ups and downs, it can really get to us. We need God to come alongside and give us strength. And that's exactly what you're going to learn about today in your lesson. It's going to be incredible. Well, I prayed for strength. Now I'm going to do it. I'm going to ride the Outlaw Run. Here we go. That was wow. Well, it's time for you to get into your lesson today about how God gave Elijah strength and how he can do the same thing for you. I'll see you next time on The Roller Coaster Life.
And now, it's time for the announcements.
Hey kids, not only can you find us here on Facebook, but you can find us on YouTube at our YouTube channel at Industry Assembly for everything Hometown Kids. Also, please feel free to share everything that we're doing on your social media so your friends can know what's happening at Hometown Kids. This Sunday afternoon and every Sunday afternoon, we will be sharing a link on Facebook to Pastor Kyle Joris's church page. Many of you will know Pastor Kyle from last year's camp. Well, we will be joining their Sundays kids services every Sunday at 1 p.m. Then, on a sad note, we have to tell you that because of the coronavirus and everyone staying at home, that kids camp this summer has been canceled.
And that's it for the announcements. It's now time to stand up and sing.
God created heaven. He built the earth and sky. He made the sun, the stars, and the moon, and blueprints for you and I. God is our foundation. The Bible is our guide. We know with you we can do anything. You're always on our side. God, you are the master builder. You're building us one day at a time. And brick by brick, we're following after you and the plans you have for our lives. God, you are the master builder. You're building us one day at a time. And brick by brick, we're following after you and the plans you have for our lives. God, you are the master builder. You're building us one day at a time. Brick by brick, we're following after you and the plans you have for our lives.
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Ah, yeah, what's up, everybody? It's me, the SKI to the double TLES, Skittles in the hizzy, and I'm ready to tell you what's up. Today, we're talking about how God can give us strength. So anytime today somebody asks you what's up, you tell them, I know God will give me strength. You know, sometimes in life, you just feel weak. Weaker than your little sister when she fell down and scraped her knee. I fell and hurt my knee. Well, maybe that's just my sister. But it don't matter how weak you feel, God will always give you strength, baby. So anytime somebody asks you what's up, you tell them, I know God will give me strength. And that's what's up. I got a rainbow of flavor, and I'm living for my savior. Skittles out, baby, yeah. Hey, all you people, what's up? I know God will give me strength.
It's offering time!
Hey, it's time for the offering. And I just want to show you what I'm doing. I've got a cup that I'm keeping dollars in, and I've got my buddy barrel that I'm keeping my coins in. And they're almost full, so I may start over and just take this to the church. And if your bucket gets full, or your barrel gets full, or your cup gets full, if you let me know, I'll try to find a way to social distance and come and get that from your family if you'd like to get yours turned in at any point. But we're saving our money and we're doing our best to help kids, and we're going to be talking about that project in a moment. But now, get a container, something you can put your money in, and let's start saving for BGMC. Oh yeah, and don't forget, we've got a new app called the Buddy Barrel app that you can download for your phone or tablet, and you can track your offerings. You can, even if you're siblings, it will track each of you. Lots of different things on there. There's cool stories, there's projects and things that we're helping, so you can see what's going on. Download the Buddy Barrel app. You'll love it.
Hey, all you people, what's up? I know God will give me strength.
Hey kids, what time is it?
Hey, all you people, what's up? I know God will give me strength.
Hey there, boys and girls. It's me, Buster, and my best buddy in the whole wide world, Slappy. We're here to teach you today's power verse. You ready? Today's power verse says, "For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength." Philippians 4:13. Oh my word, what a bustastic power verse. You know what's even more awesome than that? Getting the boys to stand up and say the power verse with me on the count of 3. You ready? Come on, boys. 1, 2, 3. For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. Good job, boys. You can have a seat. Go on, take a load off. Now I need my girly girls to stand up and say the power verse with me and Slappy on the count of 3. You ready, girls? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. Good job, y'all. You can have a seat. Boys and girls, God will give you strength, even when you're feeling weak and puny. Like the other day, I had to bust a grape. I couldn't do it. It was like I'm made out of titanium or something. Anyways, boys and girls, God will give you strength. Remember that always. And now that you know that, I need everybody to stand up and say the power verse with me and Slappy on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13. Good job, boys and girls. You can have a seat. Hey, it's been awesome teaching you today's power verse, but you want to know what time it is? It's time to bust stuff. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Oh, boys and girls, this one's going to be sweet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Woo! How sweet it is.
Hey, all you people, what's up? I know God will give me strength.
Know that I need everybody to stand up and say the power verse with me and Slappy on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13.
Hey, I just want to take a moment and say thank you for all that you do for BGMC and giving to our missions projects. You guys are incredible. Last year, giving over $20,000 just from our hometown kids group to help boys and girls and moms and dads all over the world come to know Jesus Christ. So thank you for what you're doing. Here's the project that we're working on right now. We are sending kids to a very special camp called Jackson's Ridge in the country of South Africa. We did this exact same project 3 years ago, and we were asked to send 120 kids to this camp. A pastor over there by the name of Pastor Posh found 120 kids that he took to this camp. Many of them when they got there, they had never seen a fork before. They had never eaten meat before. They had no idea what dessert was. They were used to one meal a day. Very impoverished kids. And he invited them to this camp. They had no way of paying for themselves to be there. So he asked churches in America, and our group responded, and we paid for many of those kids to be there. And then the extra bonus was that I got to go along, and I paid my way to go so that I could go, and along with some other children's pastors, and I got to be one of the speakers at that camp. So during the day, I was one of the activity directors, and I got to teach archery. I bet you didn't know I was an archery expert. Neither did I. But we had a lot of fun during the day with all kinds of incredible things happening at the camp. And then throughout the day, we had services with the kids. And what an amazing thing. For many of them, it was the first time they had ever heard about Jesus. And many of them came and surrendered their life to Christ. And many incredible things happened in that altar, and lives were changed. I've reached out to Pastor Posh. He's a friend of mine. I've asked him to get some testimonies from some of those kids. They also are going through the coronavirus in their country as well, and so it may be a while before he's able to do that, but hopefully we'll get to hear from them. But even before we get to hear from them, I'm going to ask you to think about something. I'm going to ask you to think and pray about, could you send one kid to camp? Could you personally send one kid? That would be $100, and I know, man, that's a lot of money. And how would I do that? Well, I don't know. Some of you guys last year sold $100 in bracelets. Some of you colored pictures and you sold them and you made money for that. So I'm not sure exactly, and we'll give you some ideas as we go along on how you can do that. But I just wanted you to ask, would that be your goal just this spring and summer? Would you commit to raising $100 to helping a kid go to camp? Let me ask you to do this. Would you take some time and pray? Pray and ask God, what would you have me do? And whatever He tells you, that's what you should do. And you know what? I know some of you could do more than $100. You are some of the most creative kids I have ever met on the planet. And last year and the year before, some of you came up with some incredible ideas of raising money for missions. So if you do something, I want you to take pictures along the way so we can share them later of what good things that you did during this time to be able to raise some money and help some kids get to summer camp so that lives can be changed. And can I just say thank you? Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for making a difference in other people's lives. You guys are awesome.
Hey, all you people, what's up? I know God will give me strength.
Know that I need everybody to stand up and say the power verse with me and Slappy on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13.
Gather round, it's story time from a very special book. Real people and God's miracles. Come on, let's take a look. The Bible, it's the book you can always trust.
Hey hometown kids, it's Pastor Robbie bringing you tonight's Bible story. Tonight our story is found in the Old Testament in 1 Kings chapter 18, and we're going to continue with the story of Elijah. Remember last week what happened in Elijah's life? He had challenged the false god Baal, who was the god of the weather, to call down fire and burn up an altar, but it didn't happen. Only the one true God answered with fire. Everyone believed in the one true God after that happened. It was a pretty awesome moment. Well, you might remember back in the very beginning when Elijah was first called by God, his mission was to tell King Ahab that there was not going to be any rain in the land. And it had not rained. It had not rained for years. But now that everyone knew that God was the God of Israel and the one true God, he decided to send rain. Elijah sent his servant out to look toward the sea and report what he saw. His servant came back and said, "There is a small cloud the size of a man's hand rising out of the sea." Elijah knew this must be God sending rain. King Ahab knew that he was defeated, so he took off on his chariot, racing toward his home. What happened next was so incredible. The Bible says that God gave Elijah special strength. Elijah started running. He ran so fast that he passed Ahab's chariots and horses. He didn't stop there. He ran all the way to Jezreel, 17 miles, without stopping. Isn't that incredible? Meanwhile, King Ahab went to his wife, the evil Queen Jezebel, and told her all about what Elijah had done on Mount Carmel. When the queen heard how Elijah had defeated the prophets of Baal, she said, "I will make sure Elijah is dead by this time tomorrow." She sent a messenger to Elijah to tell him of her plans to kill him. When Elijah heard that Queen Jezebel was going to kill him, he ran for his life. Finally, he collapsed under a tree. He was exhausted, weary, and sad from running. He prayed to God, "I have had enough, Lord. Take my life." He was so tired of fighting against the evil that he was just ready for God to take him and take him up to heaven. But God was not ready to be done with Elijah. An angel showed up and woke Elijah up from his sleep. He showed Elijah that he had brought him a cake and some water. The angel said, "Get up and eat, for the journey is too much for you." In the midst of Elijah's weakest moment, God gave him strength to carry on, and he will do the same for us. That's exactly what we are going to learn about today in our lesson.
The Bible, it's the book you can always trust.
Hey, all you people, what's up? I know God will give me strength.
know that, I need everybody to stand up and say the power verse with me and Slappy on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13.
Today's Bible story, we learned about how Elijah defeated the prophets of Baal, and how God sent rain to Israel, and it was this huge victory. It seemed to be a huge victory, but then Elijah, after that, was sent running 17 miles away for his life. He had to flee because he had to start running because his life was in danger now after this huge victory. And I found that a lot of times in life, we go through seasons. And Elijah felt like this was his roller coaster crazy season of life. And so he was going through the ups and the downs and the highs and lows of it. And right now, he had just went up and then he shot down low. And so oftentimes the devil often attacks right after a huge victory in our lives. I don't know about you, but sometimes after a huge victory or an accomplishment in my life, in my walk with God, I feel the devil tries to attack more because he's scared of what you're going to do if you continue to follow God. And so this had happened for Elijah because Elijah had just won this huge victory against the prophets, and he knew that, this is awesome, God's awesome, this is so amazing for my life, like I can celebrate. But then the devil tried to attack him so hard and make him feel bad and useless, and like he had to run away in order to, he couldn't even celebrate this victory in his life, but he had to run in defeat. He had to run feeling like he was defeated. And the devil, like I said, often comes in vulnerable times of our lives when we're celebrating victory, when we just seen a miracle, or when other things happen in our lives that's really good. The devil comes and he's like, oh, but I want to take it all away. And so he whispered that lie into him, and Elijah became very sad and depressed because of this situation that had occurred and happened. And so what this teaches us is that sometimes the roller coasters of life can really get us down. And so just like Elijah was really struggling in this place mentally and emotionally and physically, he was running for 17 miles for his life to be saved away from this Queen Jezebel. And he felt so defeated. And oftentimes in our lives we run and we think that we can do it in our own strength, but we often find that sometimes if we're running 17 miles in our lives down this journey, down this road, that we often feel very weary and very tired in life. And we realize that our strength is useless when compared to Jesus' strength for our life. And so Jesus in this has all the strength. He's the giver of strength. And Philippians 4:13, it's one of my favorite Bible verses actually. It says, "For I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength." And so Elijah remembered that, and he started to remember, and he started to just realize that God is the giver of strength. So when our strength fails, Jesus comes in. Jesus helps us when we feel tired, when we feel weary, when we feel beat down by life and the roller coasters. And so Jesus seeing this in your life, this isn't new to him. He's seen that you are going to have highs and lows, but he is there through it all. So if you would just turn to him when you're weary, when you need rest, when you're tired of running, and you just run into his arms and realize he is God. He can take care of it for you. And that you never ever have to feel defeated, because when Jesus is your victor, when he is your God, you are victorious always. And so that's what I really want to make known today. That whatever area of your life you're feeling like there may be a high one day or a low the next, you may be feeling happy or you may be feeling sad like the next hour, and you're tired of it, I ask you, just give it to God. And if you have, just remember God is in control through it all, and he gives us strength when we are weak and we are weary. Just like he gave Elijah strength to carry on in his life. God said, I'm not taking you out of the picture yet. I'm not going to take your life for you. Life is full of this, but we got to learn to navigate it. So if Jesus is the one who we are letting lead our lives, it won't always be easy in life. to deal with all of this. But it won't be hard to keep our focus on Jesus and who He's called us to be if we're truly seeking after Him in our lives. And so today for the altar response, I just want to invite you guys, and I just want to say, come and sit at the feet of Jesus. Because all He died for, all the weariness, all the running, He died for it all. And so when we just ask Jesus, Jesus, please intercede, please come into this situation and help me. Help me during this. Show me that there are brighter ways, brighter days, that I can be happy even in these situations, and that I can rejoice always and have joy, because I know that You are a God who stays with me. And even when I feel like giving up and stopping and not running anymore, even if I feel like I can't run this race of life anymore and that I just want to give up because I feel so defeated, Jesus, show me that You are the way to life. That You love me so much and You never leave me, even when I feel sometimes lonely and left alone in these situations. You always stay with me. You stay by my side and You help me see things clearly. So thank you guys so much for just really listening to this message, and I hope you guys take something out of it today and know that no matter what situation you are going through, no matter how painful or difficult, that Jesus sees you. He sees your situation, He sees your pain, and He doesn't look past it, but He looks into it. And He makes a way where there seems to be no way in our lives. And so whatever problem, it's not too difficult for God, but instead He intercedes on our behalf when we tell Him, when we invite Him to our table. Jesus says, okay, I'll help you. Like, I will work this out for you. It may not be the way that you want it to be. It may not look how you want it to be, but I will make a way. And it will be always for your good. So let's keep that in remembrance today. Let's remind ourselves of just how good Jesus is in the midst of our pain, just like He was to Elijah. God is always there for us in our most desperate and difficult needs of our lives. Even through the highs and lows, God is navigating it all for us and for His glory and for our good, because He loves us and He is a good God. So allow Him to navigate that area of your life.
Thank you, Pastor Robbie and Emily, for the Bible story and the lesson tonight. And I would just like to take a moment just to pray with you and anyone that's listening with you, that God will give you strength for every day. Father, I pray right now for who's ever watching that You will just do what we've talked about tonight, that through the ups and downs of our lives, and we all have that, I pray that You will just give us strength, that we will make it through those low times and we will not forget about You in the high times, but that we might learn to grow to be like You and to always trust You, to put our faith in You. And I pray Your blessing upon each boy or girl and all of their family. Father, that You will continue to help them through this time of sheltering at home. I pray Your blessing on their family. And I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Hey, all you people. Hey, all you people. What's up? I know God will give me strength.
Know that, I need everybody to stand up and say the power verse with me and Slappy on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Philippians 4:13.
And now it's time to see if you can remember what we learned. It's time for Brain Drain, Brain Drain, Brain Drain.
Welcome to the Brain Drain with Miss Sarah. Question 1. What's up? I know God will help me. I know God will be there. I know God will give me strength. The answer is, I know God will give me strength. Question 2. What was the name of the roller coaster that Brian rode today? The Outlaw Run, the Cannonball Run, or the Road Runner? It was the Outlaw Run. Question 3. How big did Elijah's servant say the cloud was that was rising from the sea? The size of a turtle, the size of a man's hand, or the size of Mars? The answer is the size of a man's hand. Question 4. Elijah outran King Ahab's what? Mother, chariot, or dog? The answer is Elijah outran King Ahab's chariot. Question 5. What did Queen Jezebel promise to do to Elijah? Kill him, tickle him, or spit at him? The answer is kill him. Question 6. Elijah told God that he was ready to what? Eat, die, or go to Disneyland? The answer is Elijah told God he was ready to die. Question 7. According to our lesson today, the devil often what? Right after a huge victory? Quits, attacks, or cries? The devil often attacks right after a huge victory. Question 8. According to our lesson today, the roller coaster of life can smell like feet, make me sick, or wear me down. The answer is the roller coaster of life can wear me down. Question 9. According to our lesson today, when I am weak, God gives me money, strength, or pain. The answer is when I am weak, God gives me strength. And question 10. Where was our power verse found? Matthew 11:1, Philippians 4:13, or 1 Kings 2:23? The answer is Philippians 4:13. Post down in the comments how many points you got.
Brain drain, brain drain, brain drain.
Hey kids, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week for episode 8. It's the last week of what we're doing right now with the life of Elijah. You're not going to want to miss it. See you then.